There's a famous saying that not all heroes wear capes. I agree. And think about it. What kind of kwok-chew walks around in a cape? That's a joke. Come on. Smile. Why so serious? And speaking of kwok-chews, this is Dave and Juan.
And 3, 2, 1. Ta-da!
We're back.
There
Here
we go.
Never
Greetings.
really left.
Hola. How you doing?
Kiski di boog.
Kiski di boog. I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Yeah, yes. Okay, stay standing. Stay standing.
Hey,
There we go.
please.
We always tell you to sit down. Let's go. Bring it.
Yeah, energize the room.
Energize. There we go. I know. Now we have some work to do. Let's sit down. So how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Been busy week.
Yeah,
Ready for it to stop being hot.
Yeah, we were joking before about that's some old guys. Yeah, it's hot.
It's hot every day.
Man, you walk outside and it's like it's walking in the water, man. I look outside my windows and I got all the condensation on it, and they double pane, bro. I got double pane windows, and I still get condensation, man. It's
I make mine so cold at night that it's anything. It would put condensation on the windows.
Well, you have to feel it, because I guess for the most part, most folks' thermostats are kind of the same, because sometimes people say, like, I keep it set on something. I'm like, well, okay, that's telling me the temperature where the thermostat is. I don't really know what it is in the bedrooms. I know where our house has to sort of be, but I grew up in a house, my mom and dad, I mean, Eskimos, buddy, and still to this day. I was talking to my mom the other day about we had to have one of the air conditioning units replaced in the house in Thibodeau, and she's telling me, in the daytime when there's nobody in around, you got 2 units, right? In the daytime when there's nobody in the back, I raise it to 73, 74. It's like, Mom, that's raising it.
My mom used to always be hot, so my dad, suffered those consequences. But since she passed, I don't know if the air conditioner's ever been on. And I was at his house the other day and it was hot. I said, I got to go lower this air conditioning. And the thermostat was on 78. And I'm saying, I didn't even know if thermostat went to 78.
Oh, no. You see, during the day, if we leave the house, I'll put it up to, upstairs, downstairs is different too. Yeah. But it's like I said, people are weird. They have their own. Some people love. You said that you like freezing at night.
I like to be real cold at night. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big. Of course, I joke with my wife that years ago we had. I don't know if I say opportunities, but I thought about some opportunities up north, and we were living in Georgia at the time, North Georgia, which you would not. Again, being in, they call it the South, but anytime you get snow,
it's not. Yeah,
it's beautiful. It was like mountains, but it got cold. I mean, they have changes of season. Oh, it's beautiful, and I miss that. Oh man, it was beautiful. But the first winter I was there, it got to 3 degrees, 3 degrees. So I'm saying every year we had snow and ice, but there were some opportunities further north. And my wife basically had a circle. I am not moving beyond. We are not going to live. So she can't stand the cold. But the flip side of that is she really doesn't like the heat either. The other day we were doing something and she was upset about, not upset. She was saying, "Oh, it's so hot." And I was laughing, saying, "You realize you've got a very tight window of what's acceptable. Like anything below 68. Yeah, anything below 68 is sweatsuit, sweater, and anything above 85, it's getting uncomfortable. It's like, okay.
Yeah, y'all could live one season here, one season in Australia, come back here, go back to Australia. So you're always either.
I don't think you can get in and out of Australia these days, man. No, I mean, that's, I read a funny line the other day. It's not funny. It's actually tragic. It makes me upset, but it said, yeah, Australia started off as a penal colony, and I'll be darned. That's where they're going. But, you know, old guys talking about the weather here, but, you know, I'm sure your family all loves listening to you talk about.
We were talking about that earlier. So, last week, we talked about my dad and his routine of his freezer cold beer.
Loving it. That's right.
So when I was at his house over the weekend, I told him, I said, Dad, we talked about you on the podcast. And I told that story about you forgetting your beer in the freezer while you went to church. What's a podcast? And so,
what's a podcast?
Yeah, I tried to explain to him, and I showed him on my phone, and he, all right, yeah, that's good. I was about as deep as he, got into it. Then I realized outside of my immediate house, nobody really. I don't think anybody, has ever watched this podcast. My sister doesn't have social media. Nor does she have a smartphone.
Man, there you go.
So she wouldn't, and she's not working. I mean, she's.
If you want, we can put it. I can get the Sony Mavica back out here. We can send her stuff on floppy disk. I mean,
update her technology. I think she still has a gateway computer.
Those are the thing in the day.
And my brother and his wife share a Facebook page. They're one of those couples. And
I never know. Yeah, you get people to do that. It's so and so and so and so, and then they'll post something or they'll respond to something. You're like, hey, who did it?
Yeah, whose birthday is it? I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, nothing says we trust each other like a shared Facebook page. But they blocked me on Facebook, so they don't ever know anything. That I'm posting.
You got blocked. That's good.
Yeah. So. Yeah, they probably wouldn't watch it anyway.
Yeah, I'm just the opposite. I think my family, especially my mom, she's ready to go, man. She's posted 7:00, and when I check in with her later on, she's almost always seen it. She's a lot of. I don't know why. It's kind of funny. It's like, so I gotta be a little more careful, I think, than you do. You can talk about anything.
I could trash the whole family. Man, no.
Actually, I mean, I've used some version of this quote before, and I believe it, where he talks about one of the problems a lot of people have, all of us really, is you get depressed sometimes looking at social media because we're comparing everybody else's highlight reel.
Right, and that's it. That's all.
Right, we know all the nonsense and garbage that goes on through the day, but you're watching. But I tell you what, that sort of happened to me today because I had, some things to do and I'm doing a little work and some things stacking up but I'm doing all right. I'm like, okay, I made a little headway and I'm feeling pretty good about. I think I'm gonna go to the gym today. I'm gonna, so I got a
productive,
pretty. I'm running pretty positive day, and I just make the mistake. I click on Facebook and some of my best friends. It's like 9:00 in the morning. They're having Bloody Marys in the airport. They're going to Key West. And look, it's one of those things, right? I mean, the big part of me is like, oh man, good for you, nice, awesome. The other part is like, dang it, I'm going to be.
The other part of me is I sit down and say, how does this jerk afford to do that?
Oh, I know how. Yeah. that's not the issue. That's not the issue. It's just been like, oh man. So I'm sitting here thinking I'm having a good day today.
You're enjoying somebody else's highlight reel.
I'm not drinking about your own. I'm not drinking Bloody Marys at 9:00 in the morning in the airport. That's
well,
if that's what you aspire to do, kids. I'm not saying that's a positive, but leave that to the old folks. Okay.
Right. Unless you're still drinking from the night before.
Words of wisdom from Dr. Juan.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah.
Juan Semino, not a doctor.
Not a doctor. I went to the doctor today. Had my, annual physical.
Did you?
And, yeah.
I got it. Huh?
I'm alive.
You alive? I got to go back. I didn't do one last year. With all the nonsense, everything is shut down. I think we can now. I'm pretty sure. But
yeah, I didn't. Yeah, he doesn't wear a mask or anything.
I'm bad that way. I with me, it's the old guy thing where you got the blood pressure medicine, the high cholesterol medicine, right? The cocktail that is my life, right? I mean, I talk to my sons about that, about enjoy certain things now because that's just it, man. Sorry, that's the gene pool we swim in. I could be in the best shape of my life, got to a certain age, you got high blood pressure and you got hypertension. You can control the kind of stuff, but that's really
me. I'm just fat.
So tough.
It's odd, and I guess my doctor switched insurance providers about a year ago, so now we have, I guess, what's commonly referred to as concierge medicine, where he's just got a defined number of patients.
Oh man, you do all the stuff I read about on the internet, man. I've heard about concierge.
Cool. It's cool. Because you can call him, he'll text him, he'll call you back. He'll fill a prescription. You just walk in and grab it off the counter, which whether there's a receptionist there or not.
It's the way to be.
But he's real laid back with everything, because he doesn't do nearly the amount. He does blood work and check your heart rate and stuff like that, but it's not a very detailed exam, which I'm not going to go not going to go deep.
No, I know. My last one was a detailed exam. That was over a year ago, and I don't miss it. But yeah, well, with me, what the pull that gets that sort of triggers I have to go is they get you they do your prescriptions, and then they get to the point that, okay, we're not gonna renew it until you come in and do do whatever. And but this last year they just blew that off, man. They just keep, there you go, like they're just trying to keep you out, like, hey, and look, I shouldn't be this way, and we try to average it out. This we may have talked. We've been doing these so long now. We probably talked about some of this stuff, but my two different households growing up, right? My wife and her family, dude, you got a sniffle. By the time that third sniffle, by the time that third one happens, you call in the doctor, man. I mean, I gotta get that checked. We were not that way. We were right. It was, are you hot? That was the temperature right there. That was
put your cheek and
you don't feel bad. You don't feel bad. I mean, we were all fine. Every now and then we had, it was obvious if somebody was sick, but so I'm still that way today. And I'm like, give it a minute. Yeah, he's running a little fever. That's the immune system. Let it, I'm talking younger.
Pharmacist. Yeah.
Do what, Dom?
I said, go to CVS and ask the pharmacist what he thinks. That's free.
Yeah. Do that around here. What you want? What do you think I should take for?
This was growing up. Oh gosh, I guess he could have been arrested. Growing up in Pankerville, my parents would just call a pharmacy, Mr. Wilford at the pharmacy, and whether you had a prescription or not, he'd hook you up.
Yeah, I knew one, but I never took it for anything besides like antibiotics or something.
Right. No, so
of course you never should, but yeah, back in those days, it was you knew like I got this, I need an antibiotic. Of course, we could have contributed, like everybody said, that one of the biggest problems we have or had in the past is that anytime anybody got any kind of chest cold or something, it could be you took antibiotics. You're not supposed to take antibiotics for anything besides, bacterial.
Yeah.
So it just creates, like later on in life, you don't.
You can't fight simple viruses.
You talk about weird. So it's a job, and again, it's one of these things that old line about sometimes the thing you don't get ends up being, the blessing. So this is a job that I was up for back when I was on the Bayou, and it was out of radio. And I'm not going to get into great detail, although I'll come back to this later on. Like I was just giving some descriptions last week, or saying certain service. You wouldn't believe the people that reached out to me. Were you talking about? Yep. Apparently everybody knew that guy was a jerk. Apparently everybody. It was funny. It was not a big secret. Everybody's like, "Oh, we know exactly who you're talking about." But I was up at this job, and it was an interview at this really nice place. There were some doctors there. It was one of these things, and I had to wear, my suit and everything to go for this part of the interview. And I didn't know it at the time, but I'd apparently gotten mononucleosis.
Oh wow.
Okay. So, but again, back in the day, to this day, you know how we are. Man, I can stand up. I can move. I'm good. Some stuff is, some stuff.
I tell people all the time. I said, if I'm gonna feel bad, I'm going to work, because if I'm gonna be miserable, I may as well be around other people to be miserable and get some money, as opposed to just being miserable by myself.
Right. So leading up to like the day before this interview, or maybe 2 days before, I was starting to feel kind of run down, and idiot me. I got mono, man. I don't even know it. I'm just like, whatever. And I figured, and then my throat got kind of
like it feels like it's about that big around.
My tonsils got infected. My tonsils were a mess. So I was like, I need an antibiotic, so call my guy, got me a, antibiotic that I'd taken before a lot. So I'll start taking this antibiotic. Well, literally like 2 hours before I'm getting dressed to go to this interview, dude, I got red splotches all over, like my arms, my hands, like hives or something. Like I was having and couldn't figure out why, because I'd taken this stuff so many times, but I didn't know I had mono at the time. So thankfully, that's a good time. Thankfully, I had a suit on, so I might have had some, and I wasn't sitting close enough to them that they could really spot it. But I was conscious the whole time I'm in this interview that, like, man, I look like I got leopard stuff going on here. What's going on? And
did you get anybody sick?
I don't think so. I don't. Yeah, I didn't get the job, so I kind of wish I would have.
Tough.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
show you.
I didn't get the job, so it ended up being. I'm so glad I didn't. But I found out after. Oh yeah, when you have mono, your system is down, and stuff that you might not be allergic to normally, you can be allergic to. So I was having an allergic reaction to the antibiotic. But that was I remember this because I was 25 years old. I was out of college, and I'd left radio, I'd left whatever, and I turned 25, unemployed, with mono.
That's right.
So,
way to celebrate.
Man, you talk about me. I hit that first quarter century on fire.
That's right.
Things are working out.
There was lots of potential ahead of you.
Things were working out great. It's exactly where I wanted to be at 25.
Yeah,
everything's an accident. Most careers are an accident. You just end up. All right. How'd you end up doing that? I don't know.
Yeah, I was an ad in the paper. I sent a resume.
Kids, at one time there were ads in the
newspaper.
You grab the newspaper
on Sundays.
Sundays were the big ones, I think. And then, the Gazette only got thrown twice a week. Every now and then you get your hands on a Homer Courier.
Well, that's right.
Bro,
if you want to broaden your search.
Exactly. Man, I don't want to work in Homer. That's so far away, man. That's a different world. I am living in Homer.
I got a different cable station.
Think about Lockport. Maybe exactly. They got a different cable station. Different. It's a different area code, man. No. So it was funny too. You think about back in the day. What's your scope? Well, I might work as far. I can see working in Lockport, but
I'm not leaving the parish. I don't even know what the tax rate is over there. My son is starting his last year. And we've talked about this before, his big boy job, his internship on campus. And it's a good program because they get contracts. Yeah, it's through the university, but they get contracts with other businesses, local businesses, national businesses to work on projects. Mm-hmm. So they get exposed to a lot. Mercedes-Benz has a large facility in Alabama, and whoever's his boss at this place said, well, Mercedes-Benz is reaching out to us, and I think he'd be a good fit for that. And he said, it's like 20 minutes away. Like, let me tell you something. Yeah, I don't know if you're getting it, but I know you're applying for it.
That's right. And you got to try.
Yeah. 20 minutes. Maybe they'll let you. Maybe you get a company car. Freaking Mercedes.
These days, that's what that's exactly what you'd want. Because that was something I was going to talk to you about. We did again this weekend, just for kicks. So boys were off working. They both were working this weekend. My wife said it was kind of a pretty day. let's go for a ride. Let's go do. And we've been looking at cars, and not just to replace hers, but maybe get another one for one of my sons. And we hit a couple, three car dealerships.
Anything,
dude, it's weird. I got out of there after the second or third one. I told my wife, if more people were shopping for cars right now, they'd be freaking out on everything. You start realizing, man, wait a minute, are we running out of everything? Because it sure looks like we're running out of everything. There's this one big Toyota down, I can do two ways, right? You head into Houston, or then it's still big, massive dealership, just a little south of us. And this place would normally, it's got, big parking lot. It's like a Walmart size parking lot. This thing would normally have at least 200 cars, at least, spread out all over the place. Dude, if they had 40 cars on the lot, I'd be surprised, and not a one of them was new. Wow. This wasn't a used car lot. This was I think they had 3 new cars inside. Right. My other plan might be just to buy, move out, buy a land, maybe get a horse. Yeah. Horse or a mule.
You can go bareback, then you wouldn't have to invest in the saddle.
Mules are underrated, man. Mules are
they're hard workers, man.
There you go. So am I. Me and my hardworking mule. pulling up at the HEB. Bring it inside. I'll bring it inside. I call it my service mule.
We saw something on TV a couple of weeks ago, and it was one of these, people found these dogs, and they were, malnourished and chained up. And watching it, and I've done enough TV production. I can tell when something is, when a set is well lit and not shot with some random iPhone. It's like, so let's go ahead and reenact this with this dog by chaining him up before we fatten him up, and bring the crew out here. So
we missed. Yeah, wait a minute. Oh, wait. Yeah. We missed that part. You don't feed that dog for 3 days. We got to get him back to looking. Yeah. You telling me that people sometimes in the media are a little unethical or a little,
I've heard that. There's a rumor.
We'll have to check with Rick, see what he
not Rick. Rick is, he's the main guy. He keeps it all.
Yeah, but he'll tell on everybody.
Oh yeah. Rick loves to trash the media that he's a part of.
Yeah, can do it.
Gosh, there was one time one of my sons was playing flag football, and if his team was trying to substitute somebody, the other coach was screaming, "Stop the ball! Stop the ball! Stop the ball!" And to get too many men on offense. What are you, Peyton Manning? Yeah, snap the ball to catch them all. So I do this 7. Give it a break.
Yeah, you get a little bit of that. You get I don't even know. There are a lot of things we talk about that I don't know if it ever makes an episode. We talk about, like, I took sort of pride that a lot of the teams I coached, my boys and others, that they'd keep requesting, we want Mr. Dave as a coach. And it wasn't that I was, don't get me wrong, I'm really good at coaching. I'm not just saying,
right. If you're being honest,
they didn't call me the Bill Belichick of youth league for nothing, but that's not just because I wore hoodies. But no, but it's having the common sense to understand their kids,
right?
And don't ask them to do stuff they can't do. And you just figure out ways to try. I mean, to me at that age, or certain ages, younger ages, you're trying to find something that kid can do that he can do well or get better at, and then utilize it, right? This is try to tell this story as quick as I can, because it's true. It's like a stupid Disney movie that you don't believe. And my kids were flag football, you saying, coaching these guys. And man, it's funny because, again, living in Sugar Land, we are Fort Bend County is the most diverse county in the country. So we have kids from everywhere. As I said, that had names I can't pronounce. I got to give them a nickname, and it's all great. It's all good. And a lot of these kids, they haven't played football, right? So soccer, some other things.
Not even known football.
You could see that. We'd go out when my kids first started playing soccer. You get out there with these kids that's what they did, right? They were kicking the ball as soon as they can walk. Well, you can just tell when you get on a soccer field. Oh yeah, I mean, I can't coach you around that. They're about to destroy you. That's not gonna. And then our kids play baseball, football, whatever. So I got this group of kids. Some would play football, some didn't. And you got that age where, some are pretty good athletes, some aren't. And we get out there, and it took me a while, like the season, and I'm watching this stuff, and we get beat. We were over. We were like, we didn't win a game. And I got tired of lying to these kids about, hey, they're not going to want us. I think we played every team in the league twice. I think that's how it worked. And so every team in the league had beaten us twice. And, my thing always after, and they were getting better. And I was like, hey, look.
Last time they beat us by 42.
That team,
it was only 37, man.
My thing was always, man, that team, look, I promise you guys, that team will not want to see us again. Well, yeah, they did. They were circling that on their calendars. But
I can't wait to see us again.
And then we got to the tournament. And end of the year, everybody's in the tournament. And I don't know if it just like they kind of came around and I kind of figured a couple things out as far as, okay, what do I got? And the advantage going in was knowing, okay, they think they're going to destroy us. So let's see. So I just started. And I had this one kid, I forget his name, but he was as fast. Man, this kid was fast. This kid could fly. He couldn't catch a cold. You couldn't throw him the ball. I mean, he wasn't even really good catching a pitch. This dude was like fast, hand-eye coordination, not there. And you give him the ball, and he tried to like juke everybody, but he's in the middle of the field, and they could just pull his flag. And it just finally dawned on me, I'm a bad coach that way toward the end of the year. Like, hey, get into the tournament. Here's what we're going to do. Whatever the play is, we're going to give you the ball and you run as fast as you can to the sideline. I mean, like run like you're going to hit the water, the water table. And before you get to the out of bounds, turn and just tear up the field. We ran that play 3 times, 3 touchdowns. Because they only let you score 3 touchdowns in that league. Like the same person can only, and we did. So we beat whatever, and we played 3 games, and we did that for 3 touchdowns a month. And we won. We won the league. We went from 0 for everything to.
You got to play, man.
And listen, and other things, we figured some other things out, but that's the one on you. Like, oh, wait a minute. They can't catch this guy. His problem is he's running at him. Like, okay, I'm a bad coach. I'm saying, hey, no. Run. You're fast. Just run. 2 turns. Get him.
Gosh. So
boom, go.
When I was in elementary school, it was funny because you're talking about the offers. Our basketball team. It's like I guess our undeclared rivalry was always St. Elizabeth School and Care Park Middle School.
I hate those guys. Hate those guys. They cheat.
Because it was.
I have no idea. By the way, I have no idea, guys. I'm just.
We were the 2 worst teams, so it was. Yeah, the only game you had a shot, or either of us had a shot to win, was against each other. So we were battling for second to last place.
All right, who got it?
Probably them.
That's the worst, man.
Yeah, we weren't very good. We had a gym at St. Elizabeth that wasn't really a gym. The basketball court wasn't regulation size. It was smaller than a volleyball court. And if it was humid outside, the floor would sweat.
Dude, that was Galliana Junior High, man. There's no air conditioning in that thing. I mean, I guess they have it now. No, the big fans blowing. Mm-hmm. Those big box fans that somebody built. Probably the janitor built these things. Right, with chicken mesh. Remember that?
Yeah.
Chicken mesh on those things.
Don't stick your finger in there, boy.
Oh, it was great though. Bitty basketball. We played bitty basketball in that gym, and it was the concession stand. You had popcorn. I still remember the chili Fritos. Man, right? That's don't. I mean, that's not weenie spaghetti territory, but they would never serve a weenie spaghetti at a basketball game.
Right? You can't. It's
chili Fritos, bro. Chili Fritos. And you got to love being young, man. We would eat bag of chili Fritos, something else, and some candy. Oh yeah, they would cut the Frito bag. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was your that was the bowl. The bowl was the Frito bag, chili in there.
I'll still eat some chili Fritos.
Dude, I'm trying to think. I know I got chili in the house. I don't know if I got Fritos in the house, but that might be
just for the Fritos, just for the chili Fritos.
That might be yeah, but it's great to be young. Like now, if I would eat chili Fritos, I couldn't walk. Like the heartburn and everything would be. Back then, you'd scarf down some chili Fritos, candy, something else. Let's play some basketball. Half of us probably had chili stains on our
halftime.
We had chili stains on our jerseys. Get out there. Oh man, good times.
My kids bring fruit and stuff for their snack mid game. You had chili Fritos.
We were never the parents that were good at. I guess we were. My wife better than me, but yeah, exactly. Bring healthy snacks. Why? So we can be unpopular? Like, come on.
I like to bring stuff that I would eat.
Sure.
If there's stuff left over.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. They like when Mr. Dave brought the snacks. It's like when we went on campouts. We'd go on Boy Scout campouts. Dude, they gained weight. The kids came home heavier than they left when we went on Boy Scout campouts.
Just 3 days.
Oh man, listen. You can put on a lot of pounds of Little Debbie's. I mean, that's right.
Easy to prepare. You don't need to start a fire.
Keep them happy, man. Keep them,
breakfast, dinner, and lunch.
Hey, what do y'all
breakfast, lunch, and dinner, whichever way you want to go.
I was thinking on Scouts, we ate well. I mean, that was the thing. They Scouts are big on cooking, right? So and the guys were boring. It was always, we'd let them choose their breakfasts. I say boring. It was the same thing, but it was a lot of stuff. So what's for breakfast, guys? We got pancakes, scrambled eggs, bacon, sausage, enough other things, and just they massive breakfasts, right? What's for lunch? Have a sandwich. And so this podcast is being recorded. So school's back in for, I guess, almost everybody. It's slowly.
College is just starting up.
Some of them, right? My son goes back next week.
Or my son went back today.
Okay, so
it's different now, though.
You think?
But all of it. I remember when I was in school, they started, like towards the end, where you could register, like computerized registration. But it wasn't like you went online. There was no such thing as online.
But it was computerized, but it wasn't really computerized.
Right. You'd feed some or some cards into a computer. I started, it may have been the same. I'm a couple of years older than you. You would
just
go,
a couple?
Just a couple.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. We went just a day or two before classes started and scheduled. And you had to go, this was a nightmare. You had to go from one station to another and physically get a card for your class. And then if you wanted this class, but it was only available at this time, but you already had a card for that class, well, you had to go return that card and get this one. It was like a nightmare. And you would see people, I remember in the front steps of the union at Nicholls, people sitting there crying.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Because they couldn't get a certain class.
That's terrible. No, it was, I remember, because I didn't even really know how the system worked. And I'm on scholarship. You think I ought to be smart enough to figure this out. I'm not. So same thing. I'm like, okay, how do you do this? And I think I had to meet with an advisor. I don't know.
I think on the spot.
Yeah.
And so if you changed a class, if you couldn't get a class and had to take another one, you had to go back and find that advisor to sign it off on.
It's like, what's your major? Oh, I think it's accounting. Really? Okay. Yes, I do remember that. I remember, again, the box, and I was going to take whatever math it was.
Yeah.
And it didn't have it. They were done. None of these math classes that I need were available. And then it's fortunate and unfortunate. It ended up being okay. But so some genius, when I went back to, it might've been my advisor, might've been whatever. I said, I got no math. They're full. I can't get in. And they pulled something, and apparently I scored well enough on my ACT. Mm-hmm. They said, you know what? We can let you. Yeah. They put me in calculus. And not the pretend calculus, not the business calculus that some people play around and say, yeah, I took business calculus. Then you need to take calculus. I'm talking, I was the only freak in there that wasn't a math major or engineer major. But
your math elective is calculus.
My math, but they gave me doing that. I got credit for
the freshman math problem.
Two of them. So but the calculus class was a 5-hour class. It was every day. So that class ended up being 11 hours. For me, which ended up being great. The downside of it is I basically gambled without knowing it, my scholarship first semester, because if I bomb that class, I'm done. But we did that. We did the cards, and then later on, now my friend Raleigh was always ahead of the game there, and that benefited me because he's always a player. He was always figuring things out. Who needs to be buttered up? Who needs a nice chest of shrimp brought to their house? And the statute of limitations is passing all this stuff, so I can. Right. And I think half the people got fired that he probably would, that were doing this back in the day, but he knew how to work registration and get all that stuff taken care of. So he got the register first.
Yeah.
But he always got what he wanted, man. He always got what he wanted. And then he coached me on how to do it.
Yeah. We figured out a system, my friend Tommy and I, because I actually started out as an accounting major. And so we would take the same classes but his last name, because it also went alphabetically, so they'd mix it up so you could so if he was registering earlier, because he and I would have the same classes and he would have the slip already signed by his advisor, he would go get his classes and then he'd go sneak back and pull a card for me. Okay, because all you needed was a physical card.
Well, here's when we got a little more sophisticated later. What we ended up doing, same thing with me and Raleigh. We're both accounting majors. We finished in accounting, by the way. I just want to.
Yeah. Well,
I was gonna dog on you. Say, well, I started accounting. Yeah, a lot of people do. It's okay. It's it's sort of like the crucible. You got to get through it. Is it the crucible? I don't know.
I don't know. My kids call it weeder classes.
Right, weeder. But what happened is, so he could register first. So he got all his stuff, and then I don't know how this worked, but the system was so unsophisticated. Well, what happened if there was something I needed that I couldn't get, or a class that I was going to fill up, he would register for it and get the spot, get the card, and then when I'd go to register either later that day or the next day, because I was, he would do a drop form right in front of me. And he would drop the class, and I was coming right behind with you would think somebody in the system would have figured out a way that wouldn't work, but that's how it worked, man. If somebody dropped a class, there wasn't a queuing. It was like whoever tried to sign up that class next.
Right.
Got it. So apologies to anybody.
No waiting list. It was where you ended up in line.
Apologies to anybody who was not connected back in the day, because, you just did what you have to, That's probably some of the best life lessons I got, by the way. I try to tell that to my kids. What did I learn in college? A lot of networking, a lot of, right? You got to study stuff and show that you got to regurgitate something to show them that you learned it. But it's
project
more
management, man.
Project management. We're always scoping out
who's the problem and overcome it.
See, now they get on the rated professor stuff and they're all reading about, right? Which is, so now it's all automated. Back in our day, you had to do some research.
Right. Who knew what
of course,
surely not early on, maybe by the time you'd been there.
Yeah. Of course, the schools are small enough too. There was, there weren't that many options.
Yeah.
You just knew, like, oh man, that guy's a jerk. Yeah. Oh, I got to get through this dude. There's no way around it. You just, man, please retire in the next 4 years. Please.
Please. Do I take it?
Please, man. But higher ed kids, look into it.
It's a thing.
And bring the register a nice chest of shrimp.
Apparently, that's the way to get your schedule.
Doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bring me a nice chest of shrimp. Couldn't hurt.
All right. It's about that time. Or maybe this is the second time we do this. I don't know.
Maybe so. Maybe
behind the scenes, you don't know where the edits happen where you realize, dang, we messed that up.
The magic of digital tape.
That's right. We push the button, see if any of this stuff stuck to tape, or Sony Mavic, whatever the format is we're using this week. But anyway, if you want to reach us, and we love hearing from you, and you don't have our direct phones to text us, and you don't want to do it on social media, it's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com. We read them, we love them, and when you give us a suggestion we can use, we go with it. Where else can they find us?
Facebook. Follow us on our Facebook page, Dave and Juan. More time, you could just search Dave and Juan. Also on YouTube, where there's a good chance you're watching this if you're into checking us out, or if you're not. into checking us out, you could be listening to us on YouTube. Not YouTube. I'm doing it again. I did it last week. On where are we?
No notes. So we got Facebook. We got YouTube.
Spotify.
Spotify's one.
Apple Podcast.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. Man. Or you know what? If you ask nicely, we'll put it on a cassette. We'll email you. Yeah. We'll email you a cassette.
I got a couple cassettes.
You know what? We just try to please. That's all we're doing. But guys, this is so much fun for us. It's even more fun when you're here, and we appreciate you being here. Thinking we're gonna wind this up again next Monday.
Yeah, 7:00. I was a little early or a little late last time. I got caught up at some birthday dinner.
Yeah, life gets in the way. 7-ish. But anyway, until then, everybody. Have a fantastic week. You too, buddy. Love you, man.
Back at you, man.
We'll cut that somewhere. I don't know what that's.
Yeah, because that was awkward silence right there.
I don't know what to say. Well, or not. Just leave it in there now.
Crickets.
Yeah, what you think?
All right, that's good.
The old radio days, you just got to eat it.
Yeah.
These days, like, go back.
Yeah, screw that. Rewind.